possible in rural communities and high-needs urban communities. The danger is for the students who are most at risk, that level of independence. So here's the coursework. You do it on your own time, without the support and presence of a teacher, can be much more challenging. And so we're seeing, unfortunately, in many places, online education is not delivered on the hoped-for promise. We aren't seeing the academic outcomes that we would want. And so I think there's a lot of work we need to do as a country to figure out how do we leverage the potential of online learning to ensure that students have access to quality support along the way. And there are interesting examples at higher ed and the K-12 level of folks experimenting with blended models where there's some regular interaction with the teacher as well as a portion that is delivered online, some flipped classroom models where students might engage in a lecture by video, right, watching the recording, but then in the classroom they're doing the hands-on work with the teacher. And I'm more optimistic about those kinds of blended models. But it's clear we've got to get better at this as a country. The future is with technology-infused learning.
One woman, why don't you
Hi, my name is Patricia Bonilla. I'm with Luna Construction Group. I started a company in a garage in 2007. And now that the economy is better, I see that there's a lack of people that can do labor, can participate in the labor, plumbers, electricians. I mean, we lack. Is there a plan to expand education at the technical level, just like Europe does? Some people don't like to go to school, but they could be really good technicians, and we're suffering. Enterprise, we're suffering.
Yes. So actually, I just was talking with Senator Alexander, the chair of our Senate committee, about this very topic today. We are hoping that Congress will reauthorize the Perkins Career and Technical Education Act, which is the federal funding source for technical education, which would result in the training of electricians and plumbers. I think you're exactly right. Also, with this new federal education law, states have the ability to reward their high schools for graduating graduates who are ready for the workforce. The states have the ability to integrate career and technical education into their overall state educational strategy. That's another reason why it's so important that folks in this room are engaged in those state-level conversations. Because often the folks in state education agencies aren't as aware as you might hope of the types of jobs that are available and the types of needs that employers experience. So we need employers at the table in those conversations. We also need to break down the stereotype that people have that either you're in a vocational track or you're in an academic track. And actually, in many ways, can be quite integrated. I can think of an experience of being in a classroom where kids were learning algebra, but they were being co-taught by their construction trades teacher. And in the window behind the classroom was the shop where they were building a house. And I was in the class and you could see the kids were struggling with this algebra concept. And then the construction trades teacher interrupted and said, "Everybody turn around." And he pointed to the roof and he explained how the algebra concept they were studying, they had actually used in constructing the roof of the house. And you could see immediately the look of recognition on kids' faces. Oh, I get it. And so helping folks understand that career and technical education for 21st century jobs really relies on strong academics as well. I think it's part of how we advance this conversation.